will Christian ever run for president against you? He wouldn't win. You know he won't.
President.
This is a conversation Trump and Marcelo Rebelo had back in 2018. And although it was just a joke, what if it really happened? I mean, everyone thought Trump was a joke and he ended up winning back in 2016. So what if Cristiano Ronaldo was president? You might think someone like him isn't qualified, but if we take a look at where he came from, it all makes sense why he's fit to be president. Ronaldo was born on February 5th, 1985 in Funchal, Portugal, and while other kids were busy fooling around, he was out there with a vision in his mind. Not to be president, but to become the greatest footballer. Unfortunately, our man Ronaldo wasn't in the best of situations. His mother had 2 jobs just to support him, and when he could, he would help sweep the streets. Literally. But that didn't stop him from perfecting his footballing abilities. He may not have had a fancy facility to practice in, but he had a burning desire, and that's all you really need to succeed. Ronaldo worked his way up to become one of the best footballers, and although many might just see him as an athlete, he can do so much more. He displays tremendous qualities that would make him an excellent president. Some of the most important characteristics that presidents have are discipline, care, and leadership. And I think we can all agree that Ronaldo is disciplined. I mean, the man kept practicing football just to one day potentially get the chance to play professionally. And his day finally came. Ronaldo was no ordinary kid playing ball in the street, but a kid with an enormous potential. In 2003, he caught the eye of none other than Sir Alex Ferguson, the legendary manager of Manchester United. I don't know about you, but I would definitely want someone as my president that has the discipline to keep going. Someone to make something work, not just for the good of him, but for the good of everyone around him. Presidents also have to be caring, and that's exactly what Ronaldo is. With so much power, with so much control, he has to make sure he does right for the overall good of his fans. During an interview, there were 2 Coke bottles by Ronaldo, and he immediately removed them, replacing them with water. A lot of billion-dollar companies are more focused on profits than our health, and he didn't want to promote that. But he didn't have to do anything since he's already made it. But he cares enough for the health of his fans, but more importantly, his country. Now, imagine the things he would do if he were president. Maybe he would limit advertising for unhealthy brands, but we'll talk more about that later. The most important quality as president is having strong leadership. During the 2016 season, the GOAT captained Portugal and passed them through the UEFA Nations League. During the quarterfinal game versus Poland, when everything was on the line, when everyone was stressed, Ronaldo was calm. He kept his cool, and he was the link needed to keep his team from falling apart. The game was tied, and it was all down to penalties. Ronaldo scored, but now it was up to his teammates. Moutinho was up, but doubt ran through his veins. He refused to take the shot, so Ronaldo went up to him, not angry, but cool, calm, and collected, just like a leader should be, and said, When we take a look at Portugal, we see a beautiful country, but nonetheless, it still has problems, and one of the major problems is obesity. Around 53% of the Portuguese population is considered obese, with a growing prevalence also in younger age groups, so this disease is considered a very significant public health problem. That's over 2.5 million people. Since 2019, Portugal has had a law that restricts the advertising of energy-dense HFSS food and beverages. But even so, advertisers still reign supreme. Ronaldo would have to find a way to put even heavier regulations. Or, he could fight fire with fire. Not only would he be the most known president, but he would also be the most popular. I mean, he's the GOAT CR7. He single-handedly cost Coca-Cola a $4 billion loss after he removed their sugary drink and replaced it with water. His power and influence are a force to be reckoned with. So now that obesity is under control, the next course of action would be fixing the economy. In terms of GDP, Portugal ranks number 47 in the world and falls way behind major economies such as the USA and the UK. Life's getting hard for Portuguese citizens, especially with unemployment rates forecasted at 6.5% in 2023. And the solution for this would be tourism. But the thing is, Portugal is already pretty popular, and since 2013, it's been rising, except for 2020, which I think you know why. Despite that, travel-related revenues account for about 10% of the country's GDP, which is a key source of employment and big component of export and services. And most of the money came from the UK, France, and Spain, accounting for over 8.6 billion euros, a fraction of what other countries bring. So how could Cristiano top that? His global fame and success already helped put Portugal on the map. But by using his influence plus power, he could actively promote tourism in Portugal. And when tourists start flocking in, magic happens. We're talking big bucks being splurged on cozy hotels, mouth-watering feasts, fancy rides, and mind-blowing attractions, all thanks to President Ronaldo. Portugal, baby. Jobs start popping up left and right, revenue shoots through the roof, and the economy is doing better than ever. Ronaldo could also use his entrepreneurial skills and personal wealth to invest in businesses and startups. This could create a massive wave of entrepreneurs in Portugal, which would lead to more innovation, job creation, and economic growth. Now, all of a sudden, investors want a piece of the action, and Portugal just became a superpower. Now that the economy's fixed, Ronaldo can focus on the next problem. Portugal is one of the countries most affected by climate change. Loss of coasts, hurricanes, floods, and horrible forest fires have already taken a very high toll. It's no surprise that Ronaldo is for fighting against climate change, considering in 2019, this is what he had to say. The Amazon rainforest produces more than 20% of the world's oxygen, and it's been burning for the past 3 weeks. It's our responsibility to help save our planet. He even supported Nepal in 2015 by donating £5 million after they were struck by 2 earthquakes. So if Ronaldo were in the president's position, he could do so much more. He could launch the renewable revolution to put full efforts in investing heavily in alternative energy, such as solar, wind, and other clean sources. Being the smart entrepreneur, he could even incentivize businesses and households to go green with the goal of powering Portugal with sustainable energy. But of course, not everyone will be on his side. But when it comes to a celebrity's mouth, it means so much more. Ronaldo could make clean energy cool and educate fans about the importance of solving climate change. Mixing Ronaldo's influence as a football star and power as the president could mean a lot for Portugal. But is it even worth it? If Ronaldo were to leave this earth by the time you finished watching this video, then he would leave an incredible legacy. Ronaldo would be remembered for his vast achievements, winning multiple FIFA Ballon d'Or awards, being one of the best footballers for over a decade, holding multiple records. From legendary matches in Man United to Real Madrid, his legacy has been set in stone. Ronaldo also contributed heavily for philanthropic and humanitarian efforts. His generosity and willingness to use his platform for positive change has garnered worldwide love. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Ronaldo has faced controversy over the years, from allegations of tax fraud, unsportsmanlike behavior, self-centered attitude, and losing loyalty. Ronaldo as president would be an interesting time, full of love, full of hate. But one thing's for sure, whether you like him or not, you would be a positive impact on the world.